And we're live. Hey, Nathan just popped in. I see you just posted a video. SKS Hugo, Knuckle Busting Numbskull. One more like. Haha. Thanks for coming. Got a little bit of sticky on the table. I've been working. Let's see, who else is in here? Showed up early when I first posted. Louis V, good to see you, man. Very good to see you. Ground Fog, always good to see you. All right. SKS Hugo from out west. Good to see you. I don't know where to start. Gosh, I've missed a lot of my own live streams lately, and I'm doing good. So we're doing a live stream tonight. It's a little later than usual. Got home a little late. Picked up a little bit of Fatwood while I was out, and some acorns and walnuts and all that good fun stuff. All right. Yesterday I decided to sand some of my handles, and I refinished them. So right now, what I was doing before I went live is prying these off of the wax paper and fixing the bottoms. So just before I left home around 4 o'clock, I had these up dripping, and I wanted to set them down on some wax paper so they got a nice flat bottom. Looks like I'm going to have to shine it up a bit. But what I'm doing is I'm feeling for any issues. This one's good. Let's see. This one hasn't been peeled up yet. Nice flat bottom. But yeah, looks like I already fixed that one. What I have is a little cup of rubbing alcohol. Yeah, they're all pretty nice. I've got a bunch of these little stands that I've made to put my ferro rods on. I'm going to have to drill some bigger holes. The hexagon ferro rods seem to fit pretty good, but when it comes to, the hexagons are ½ inch, but these ½ inch aren't fitting. I got a little carried away, if you haven't noticed. I meant for some of these handles to be strikers, and I just got a little in over my head. Let's see here. Let's put you over here. My goal this spring is to have a ferro rod handle for each conifer that I have in my area. Let's see, I've already made a couple handles with tamarack pine. See how that one feels. It's going to need to be trimmed a little bit. But tamarack pines have a really, really tiny pine cone, and I couldn't believe that I found some tamarack pines close enough to the road. And even though the tamarack pines come to the road, you can't just walk out onto the ground and pick them up. The water's got to be low, because a tamarack pine is the only pine that's not an evergreen. It actually loses its needles in the fall. And right now the tamarack pines are regrowing their needles. And I managed to harvest some of these tamarack pine cones and little twigs. But you had to step off of the road onto the wetlands. The water was low enough that I could walk onto the ground, but I had to be careful not to let my foot go in and get wet. I did get a little bit wet around my toes. And right now the water's too high to get any more pine cones. But I hope to have, I already had the tamarack pine. I have inland Douglas fir here in Michigan, but I don't have the real Douglas fir, West Coast Douglas fir. But I do have what I harvested in Oregon, and I have some fatwood to go with it. So let's see, how many can I come up with? Red pine, jack pine, Scots pine, black pine, which is Austrian pine, Norway spruce, blue spruce, red cedar. Did I say tamarack already? I think I counted 10. I'd like to have a handle with each type of pine and each type of fatwood in it with the cones and the needles. Kind of like I just like to encourage people to learn their pines in their areas, conifers, evergreens. I still can't believe it though, but tamarack pine is not an evergreen. I'm just waiting for these to all fall over. I want to put them in my stand, but they're not fitting, so no big deal. Steve and I stopped and got us some goodies out in the woods on our way home. Let's see here. Smash that like button. That's right. Fire it up. All right. Now, there's a lot of fatwood, some really cool fatwood, but it's all in these thorns. And I went out into the thorns today. I promised Steve I wouldn't take him to the thorns anymore. I'll just go myself. But man, there's some really big dead red pine on the ground, just surrounded by thorns. And I got in a little deeper and I just salivating. I mean, it was just beautiful fatwood. I just couldn't reach it. Where's that piece I was able to reach? It's a little too charred. Burnt fatwood isn't always good fatwood. If it's charred this bad, it's not pretty good fatwood. But I did manage to score a piece. It's a little too charred though. I'll find some use for it. Get my fingers all dirty. I just washed them. SD Mountain Man, good to see you. Yeah, I don't have any loblolly. I wish I had me some loblolly out here. I've only seen one ponderosa pine out here, and that was at the research forest. You don't dare touch any of that. They had a label on it as ponderosa pine, but it don't look like ponderosa pine, so that kind of baffled me. I mean, my brother's got ponderosa pine all over his ranch out in Oregon and Murphy, south of Grants Pass. So I got a bunch of little branches because I'm really liking this epoxy resin, and I like having some nice little. What you doing there? Oh, in case my hands get dirty. Thank you, dear. He brought me some wet wipes to get the char off my fingers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, if any of you are wondering about these morels in my handles, they're from last year and the year before. I save a lot of my morels and I dry them. And morels, when you dry them and you use them for cooking, they're only for flavor. You don't get that texture like a fresh harvest morel cooked up like that. But I do like to save my morels and dry them out and re-moisturize them, chop them up real fine, add them to soup. It gives great flavor. Well, I didn't take care of my dried morels. They weren't sealed right. I wasn't there gonna cook them up and eat with them. They probably absorbed every fragrance in the house. But I had a lot of dried morels, and I got dried fish, and they've been working pretty good in these handles. Now, I hope to make some just tabletop decorations. I know anytime I've put paperweights in my store, people really dig those. Where'd that little light go? There went my clip. Which one did I have on here? Where'd she go? Who all do I got here? Swamp Donkey. Good to see you. Swamp Donkey. No, it's not a bad idea at all. If you dry your morels properly and you put them in a jar, a mason jar, and you save them, they're really good for adding flavor. This one's still sticky. I'm really hoping to turn some bases for these pieces and put little lights in them, sell them like that. I just want some variety. Variety's always good. I'm all over the place today. I had a little bit of epoxy resin left today when I was doing some finishing. And I said, you know what? I'll throw some color in and play around with my colors, with my mica powder, and coloring my epoxy resin, what was left of it, and pouring it into my silicone molds with the little queen crowns. And I've got fire flames. Where's that one that I took out? We'll just take this one out. Still pretty soft, but it's not sticky. So I just want to play around with it, and I want to make another one of these tabletop. I don't even know what to call them. But I want to play around and put a little shape inside, see what it's like. It's just playing around. I've got this stick with some fungus on it that looks really cool, and I've got some fish glued to the stick. Yeah, I'm using dried fish, and I think it's cool. And these don't stink. I got some other ones that are bigger, dried fish, really big. Man, do they stink. Okay, hopefully you guys got to see the part where I did the ice pick. I went ahead and bought a couple more of those. I wish the ice pick had a little bit bigger hole, because it'd be really cool if I could take the ice pick and put a ferro rod in there instead. That way you could turn the ferro rod and put it inside the handle, twist it back up, use it like that. I've also got the ceramic vegetable peeler broke on me. I don't trust those from them anymore. I've been getting them from the Wood River Company. I'm not endorsed. I'm just talking about what I'm finding. I'd rather find some more affordable projects, but these are kits. I found a smaller pizza cutter rather than the oversized one, and I have some salt and pepper shakers. So I'm looking forward to making some of those. I've got a huge bag of bottle openers. I've seen you, Nathan, make bottle openers before. I've got a whole bunch, all different colors. So those are projects that I'm hoping to do in the future. And I haven't decided yet if I want to try doing epoxy resin like this with all the forest stuff and make a salt and pepper shaker. I was going to do Fatwood, but maybe while I'm playing around with the epoxy, I can make an epoxy pizza cutter. I've got a root ball. For those of you that don't know what a root ball is, it's basically, here's the stalk of the tree or the tree trunk, and here's where all the roots used to come out. I've been having it drying for over a week now, and I hope to do my first turn with wood and resin. So on the whiteboard projects for Thursday, I've got the root ball resin handle on the list. I'm hoping to use a green or a bluish green, and I'm going to put that in my vacuum chamber, and that'll pull all the air out, and all that resin will infuse inside the wood. And then when that's done hardening, I'll put it on the lathe and turn a handle. And I'm thinking about doing the pizza cutter with that or a bottle opener. We'll see when that time comes. But this will be my first turn with wood and epoxy resin and color. So I think Steve gave this to me, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. The door opened, and this is what I'm going to do with it. Where's my water? Jim Thomas, hello. Good to see you. I'm glad you came. Jimbo, yeah. What you doing, Rita? Ruff, I know. She thinks she's a dog. My brother-in-law has a scroll saw for me and a vertical bandsaw. It's going to be better than the bandsaw that I have right now. I made a handle for him. Looks like I have it put away. It's going to be a fair trade. He wants it being used and he's not using it. Oh, this is one of my favorites right here. The bacon wood handle. Let's see if I can get it off of there. I really like this one. You guys saw me turn this in my latest video. Let's see here. Which way are we? Yeah, playing around with this. I really like the idea of putting sticks of Fatwood in there. I really like these walnuts. Let me tell you, these walnuts sure are hard on the tools. I got to do a lot of sharpening. I just love the different colors. I could leave these, just as they are. That's a pretty big ass handle though. But something about when you turn these, it exposes the cool colors and designs of your walnuts. Unfortunately, it shaves off some of the fish. Let's see. I accidentally got a walnut in there. Let's see if you can see it with the nut still in it. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm putting nutshells and acorns and stuff, but I don't want to leave the nut in there because I'm afraid it might rot and fester or steam up in there or who knows what. So I'm trying to be real careful not to put any moisture in here. I do know that the green from the needles is not going to stay. I did a test on that right away a few weeks ago. I put some spruce needles in a little plastic test tube. I filled it halfway full of, I should go get it. I can get to it. Look out, Rita. That cat becomes very needy when I get busy. She wants me to sit down and relax with her. Okay. So I was curious about how quickly the needles will brown after I put them in the resin. I filled this up with just a little bit of resin, and then I took the spruce needles and I just stuck them right in there so the resin comes up to here and no resin up here. These needles are still green. The resin actually browns them even quicker. Let's see. Oh, I got a notification and it's covering up my comments. There we go. Steve, SRT8, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Hope the cows are doing well. Was that a second baby cow I saw on Facebook? Yeah, I love the colors. I just love the colors. See how this one's doing. Anytime I get any sharp edges, I just take a little cup of isopropyl alcohol and I just dip my finger in there and just dab it lightly and it gets rid of any bumps, at least until it's hardened completely. This one feels all right. Yeah, these are finished. Tomorrow, if we get enough sunlight, I will do some labeling and some photos, and maybe in a week I'll have some of these available for sale. It's still just kind of a project that I'm playing around with and learning. I do hope to make some more of these with strikers. I'd like to sell some sets. I am struggling on how much to charge for these. I've still got to sit down and do my math with all my supplies and everything. I've got to research a little bit more and compare my prices with things similar to this, because I don't want to lose out too much money. This is a hobby turned into a business. That's nice and flat. I'll be able to put my Annie Oakley sticker on there. I'm thinking when I cut some more circles, I brought home some small Fatwood sticks so I can cut small circles to put in my castings. And if I get them just big enough to put my sticker on, then I can personalize my handles by having a chip or two, or a chip in here with my logo on it. Because I really haven't figured out how to personalize. I mean, you can't really take a burn pen and put your initials in these, if you know what I mean. That's what I've been working on. Let's see. I don't want to get this dirty, so I'm going to move this. I've really been enjoying this. Won't be long, I'll have to start going out, finding Fatwood again, and restock the store. Okay, this needs to go somewhere safe, and that's a good spot right there. You don't know any cows. Oh, you don't have any cows. I'm confusing you with someone else. That's what it is. Forgive me, Steve. I know who I'm talking about now. I think it's because of your location I confused you with them. Yep, that's funny. All right, so I just grabbed a bunch of acorns and stuff. I'm always trying to find the acorns that are in like a glob, a cluster, without the nut in there. This one's got a small nut. It shouldn't hurt too bad. But I'm having a little bit of fun with these little decorative pieces. I'll get that out of my system and back to turning wood again. No, I have one. Thank you. I'm trying to read the chat. Oh, you found some Douglas fir, Fatwood. Tag me on Instagram. Oh my God, you guys. Speaking of Instagram, here I am. I'm finally turning stuff, and I've been locked out of Instagram for 2 months. I need to sit down and get serious and get them to get me back in there. What was it I was doing? Man, maybe it's been 3 months. I buy cheap phones, and you don't have a lot of apps on your phone. I was pulling up an app to tune my guitar, and it said I had to get rid of an app. So it's really hard to get rid of an app when you need them all, especially for my labels and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll get rid of this app. Boink. Next thing you know, I got rid of that app and my Instagram, and I'm having a heck of a time getting back in. So I need to get serious and sit down and get back into Instagram, because I've been locked out for over 2 months. And right when I'm turning cool stuff and I want to show it off on Instagram, I can only share it on Facebook. And I refuse to pair my Instagram and Facebook together, because they're two different things, and they're trying to get you to make it one. But yeah, I'm really missing Instagram. And then I'll check that out for sure. I'll probably look you up without even signing in. Yeah, it sucks. Love the nut deals. Thanks. No, I haven't been on Instagram in about 2-3 months. Yeah, I love my Instagram. I love showing off my cool things, but sometimes I'm just not good with the technology, or I'm just not in the mood. What else did I want to do up here before I move downstairs? Man, it's been such a busy day. Yeah. God, that stuff smells good. While we were out, it got up to almost 80 degrees today. Man, we could smell the cedar. There's spring onion coming up all over the ground. So many wonderful smells outside. It's nice. It's nice to have spring here in Michigan. We started to have spring early at end of February, and then everything got cold again, and now we're back to spring. There's a lot of people out looking for mushrooms early. Most of the time I pay attention where people are looking for mushrooms, and I go where they're not looking. Last year I found a couple new spots I want to check out, and over where I've been clearing the thorns and getting some fatwood where the ground was burned last year, they did a controlled burn on that property. That should bring up some really good morels this year, and possibly next year. And I'm hoping that nobody's looking where all the thorns are at. Like, won't even bother. Maybe they'll pop up, and I'll take my machete out there and get me some thorny morels. Yeah, it's a bunch of weeds and crap. I'll go through this later. You don't want to see me go through that. It's pretty dirty too. Okay, anything else over here that I wanted to discuss or cover? Man, I can't move it because the fish will fall off. I want to show it so bad. Let's see. Oh, it's on here tight. Come on. It's a pretty good tripod. I don't know why it's giving me problems. Okay. I don't know how to get it to zoom in. I'm afraid to move it. I've got this cool little stick that's got, yeah, they're not on there. There we go. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, Steve gave me this stick with your fungus. These are not polypores. These have gills, and I'm gluing fish to them, and I want to put that in a handle. So I'm using the epoxy, of course. I did that kind of quickly before we left, but I can't wait. It's going to be so cool. Why is this thing not moving smoothly in my... It's almost like I'm using the wrong part. It's just a little sticky. This is a good tripod. It shouldn't be doing that. All right. Let me think. I believe it was Easter. Went down to my mother's where I grew up in Athens. It's a little village, about 1 square mile in size, just a little over 1,000 people. And we all walked down to the park, and they got a lot of sycamore trees. So I got a lot of sycamore seed balls, little pods. This one here, this pine cone is spruce, blue spruce. That's a blue spruce pine cone. There's another morel mushroom right there. You can see that. Got some really dark fatwood right there. That's another little seed pod. Love these little walnuts. Yeah, I'll get this out of my system this week and I'll be back to wood again. We'll see. This is fun. Hopefully I can get some of my money back. Before you come with me, let's turn the light on. I need to fix my shelf over here. I knocked it off in the corner. Let's see here. It's usually what this stands on. I knocked my little shelf off. This is from Stalker Steve's Woodworking and Homestead. Now Steve and Susie's Homestead. This is a trophy piece of fatwood he carved for me years ago. I love his angles and twists. He just kind of followed the resin lines. And he put the nice felt on the bottom there. I love that piece. It's magnificent. All right, I got the light on down there. I should take my phone with me because I can't read the chat down there. It's a little bit cleaned up over here. I ended up with a whole entire garbage bag of plastic shavings from turning that epoxy resin. Let's see here. Woohoo! Let there be light. I hope everyone's having good weather like we are over here. Okay, we don't want to trip on the cord. Hopefully this camera will follow me around all right. I did my sanding outside. Call me nuts, but I took my drill press vise. Man, this thing's heavy. Took the drill press vise outside, and I put my little vise in here, and they're all out there. Here we go. This epoxy resin is messy and the sanding is really messy. So I prefer to do it outside. I don't like the dust in my clothes, so I got the little white paint suit. And I've always got all kinds of good masks. But what I did was I fixed the handle this way like this. I anchored it like that, and I have a table outside with a hole in it, so I was able to fix it in there like that, and then I did my sanding that way and anchored it like that and smoothed out the bottoms or the tops of my handles. It was just kind of perfect. This one's got a bad bump on it and it's still soft. There, that fixed it. It's kind of nice when you can take your handle and stand it up instead of laying it down, it rolling off or wherever. Uh-oh. Looks like my hole closed on me. Come on, I got a little drill bit in here somewhere. Will that fit? Looks like I'm going to have to drill that hole back out. It's only the tamarack handles that I did my lanyard hole too small. Working with this epoxy, I knew I had to use a bigger drill bit and drill a bigger hole because I'm putting on extra coats, and I don't want to fill that hole in, and looks like I did. Try not to do that. I feel so blessed to have this little shop finally put together. It's something I've been wanting to do for a year and a half, and I'm really enjoying it, and looking forward to adding on to it soon. This I don't care much for this bandsaw. It gets the job done most of the time, but it's too small. So I'm going to be acquiring a better bandsaw with bigger blades. Something that can get through those godforsaken walnuts that I've been cutting. Man, I feel sorry for those squirrels. Got to chomp through so many layers of freaking wooden walnut shells to get to the meat. All right, let's see if I can pull the chat up without taking it so long. I'm not going to be live too long tonight. Probably another 25 minutes. 9:15 to about 10:15. And I got to get in the shower. Make sure I didn't pick up any ticks on me while I was out. Got to get up early too. Oh yeah, Steve harvested some fatwood too. I believe this one's still green. But yeah, he got some pretty cool knots. He likes to process up fatwood and put them in little containers for his friends. All right. View channel. That'll work. Maybe I can find my live stream. Tell me where you guys are from and how the weather is out where you're at. Hey, I found me. Yay. From and how the weather is out where you're at. I believe that's the right one. Hello from Idaho. Square Acre DIY. Good to see you again. Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog. Good to see you again. If I'm saying that right. I think I butcher it every time. Good to see you, Chuck. Thanks for coming by. I know I don't stay live for very long. It's raining where Nathan's at, Southern California. Perfect day where Square Ace is from in Idaho. I think today was the hottest day of the year so far here in West Michigan, Southwest Michigan. Thanks, SD Mountain Man. It is awesome. And I started to wonder if I was ever going to get it up. Started with the lathe, and then the pegboards, and then I got the bench grinders for my birthday. Steve already had the drill press, and the table works great. Metal table with the lock on the bottom and the wheels. Very nice table. Comes in very handy. I still don't have a really good work table. Heavy duty, wood block with a big old vise on it. Someday. Sun's been down probably 2 hours. Okay. Missouri about 90 degrees. Woo! Nice here in South Central British Columbia. Sun just setting. I think the sun set here between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. 64 sunny in Seattle. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, come back. There you are. I'm going to have a look at my whiteboard. Yeah, so I've got two projects that I'm going to work on this week. I'm not going to get carried away. I'm going to make an epoxy resin handle with stick with the mushrooms on it that's all dried and having a fish going around it. I'm gonna need the vacuum chamber for that one for sure. What's the other one? Oh yes, the root ball. I want to infuse that with some colored resin. Turn that, make a bottle opener for that. Okay, so Lisa, where did you put your bottle openers? I don't have a place for it yet. Ah, there they are. I'm glad I'm not putting them away where they don't belong. Gotta find a home for them. Now, I was pretty impressed when Nathan, when you turn them bottle openers. I've still got yours. You want to have it up here? Yeah, I've still got some putting away to do. This here is a Nathan 4071 bottle opener. I love it. Let's see if we got the same brand. Nope, I got, looks like mine are all round. Put you back. Looks like I've got silver, gold, rose bronze. I got rose, gold, silver. Are there any black ones in here? Haven't really gone through them. Yeah, 4 different colors. These little bubble wrap bags will be reused, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to making some of these. These are fun to give as gifts. They're not as expensive. I got, where's that coffee scoop I got? Should be right here. And it's not. Go figure. I always keep those together. Well, it's around here somewhere. What did I do with that coffee scoop? It's a bummer I had to pay for shipping. So, yeah. I thought that was nice. Because each one will go better with a certain kind of wood. And they're not as expensive as that little coffee scoop, man. I wish I could have got a whole bag full of those. I know a lot of people that drink coffee that would love a coffee scoop. I get carried away sometimes and ship too many things out to friends. I love having pen pals. Ever since the 3rd grade, I think I've liked having pen pals. Okay, so I need a permanent home for my kit projects. And I could probably clear out that top shelf because that one's not labeled. That just has a bunch of random pieces of wood for turning. So maybe I should label that. I try to label all my drawers. Try to stay somewhat organized. Never been the most organized, but I'm getting there. Each year I'm a little more organized than I was the year before. That's a step. Thanks, Nathan. Cool bottle openers. Don't forget to give Shalisa a like. Thank you. Thank you. Morels are starting to appear a few miles south. So any day now. Awesome. Man, we saw some people out looking today. It's still early. If you find any here where I'm at, they're probably going to be really small. Let me think. How many different kinds of morels do I have in my area? We've got the blondes, of course. Most people are familiar with the blonde morels. One of my best patches, I don't know what kind of morels those are, but they tend to be darker, and the stem tends to be more peach colored, and that's the only place I've ever found them that color. And they're kind of right at the point of a sometimes lake, sometimes marsh, grassy, wet spot. Sometimes the water makes it to where the morels are, and of course it's south facing, so it gets the sun. They grow on a hill. So we got those kind. We got the blinds. We got the kind that I can never remember the name of that only get up to 4 inches long. I see a lot of people finding those. Those aren't even worth looking for sometimes, I swear. Black morels, those ones don't pair out at the bottom. They kind of flesh with the stem and they're pointed. What else? I swear I've got like 6 or 7 different types of morels here. I sure would like to go morel hunting out west, northwest. Some of those videos I see where people are up in the high altitude and they're in the areas that have been burned, and man, those mushrooms look good. It's like, oh, I just want to go there for a trip just to pick some. Yeah, you're too long to go anywhere, aren't you? Where can I put you? There, stay right there. I did make some mistakes on some of my turnings. So I ended up with 3 pieces that didn't turn out, which is pretty good for as much as I was playing around with it. I'm real bummed that this one didn't turn out because I've actually got a rock inside of it. I don't know if you'd be able to see it or not. It's one of those rocks with holes in it that almost looks like a potato. By the way, speaking of rocks, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to see that. We're thinking about getting a wet tile saw so we can cut into some of the rocks that we're finding, like agates and opals and pudding stones and stuff like that. Take our stones that we find and cut them in half to reveal the patterns inside, because it's kind of exciting and rewarding, like Fatwood hunting is, you know. You get home and cut into it and reveal how cool it is on the inside. Yeah, I tried a rock in here, but they've got some sticky spots on them, like I didn't mix it right. I don't know if this was that one day where Charlie had been helping me and we were pouring the resin. I used 2-part epoxy. So we pour B first. There's A and B. Someone recommended pouring B first and then the other. But apparently I had picked up the bottle, poured it, sat it down, and instead of picking up the other bottle, pouring it and set it down, I had poured the same bottle twice. And that was bad for one reason, because some of my molds needed a little bit more on top and I poured them on there. So I ended up having to cut it off and it was sticky, messy. This is one of those where, yeah, I'm getting sticky right now. I'm going to have to go grab the rub and alcohol. But this one I had still had some on the top, and I'm like, I'll pour a little bit more epoxy resin in there and wait the next day and open it up and put it on the lathe. But man, this is really soft to the touch. It's hard, it's solid, it's great right here. But from here up, where I topped it off, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Learning my lessons. Sometimes it's better to learn the hard way. You understand it more. All right, I think I took my rubbing alcohol up there. I need to get this off of my hands. I go through a lot of gloves. My stepdad works at the hospital. He's always got extra gloves at the house. And he gave me a bunch of boxes of gloves to save me some money because he had a bunch that he didn't like or just didn't fit him right. I done burned through those gloves already. When I don't have my gloves on and I get it on my hands, I just take some rubbing alcohol. I don't know why, but to me, the rubbing alcohol works better than the acetone. I still need to play around with it some, but so far that's my experience. All right, let's see where we're at here. It is, all right, less than 10 minutes left on a chat. Come on, baby, load for me. Live chat. There we go. Dish. Hi, Dish. I'm going to be sending you something this week. I'll leave a note so you know why. You'll be getting that by Friday, maybe even sooner, because I'll be shipping it in the morning. And it's going to be interesting. Trust me. You're going to like it. I'm going to leave you in suspense all week. Yeah, that would be awesome to cut some stones. Let's see, where did I leave off? Cool bottle openers. Thumbs up. Hello from Washington State. Hi, Heidi. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Tammy said hello, Shalisa. Hi, Tammy. I don't know. There's different kinds. Joe Michael got a bunch in Indiana. It's amazing how many different types of morels there are out there. Been there, done that. All right. Everybody saying hello to each other. The Virginia Bushcrafter, you made it. Thanks for coming. All right, cool. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to show up tonight. I sure do appreciate that. I know I'm not that exciting, but I do like to show what I'm up to and what my plans are and sneak peeks of what I'm going to be doing soon. Oh, okay. Yeah. You're not supposed to be plugged in. We'll get that over here. Yeah, with these drill press vices, they're pretty nice. I always keep this level handy just to help make sure keep my tools straight, whether they're strikers or ferro rods or bottle openers. Let's see. I think I had thought about turning something tonight, but it's getting too late. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if I've shown this off before, but I've been meaning to do a review on this so Steve can finish playing around with it. It's a fire starter combo kit. It's got your pocket bellows, your fire starters. I can't tell if that's twine or wood shavings or what. And what is this? A Zippo striker, it looks like. It almost looks like it fits right in with the ferro rod, like it matches right in there together. Been meaning to open this up for the longest time. Okay, I see brown stickers on here. sharpen up. Nobody's home. There we go. Couldn't figure out if the tabs were this way or that. I have never had any luck with these little tiny store-bought ferro rods. I've got a bunch of them too. Only ferro rods I like are from Nathan 4071. They're not too hard, they're not too soft, and they throw gobs of molten, fiery sparkage. Okay, cool. I got it now. Steve's going to like this. So it's a triangle. Okay. And it looks like this matches here. So let's see. Okay. You know, I've had 2 people ask me if I could make a ferro rod and striker set like this knife they saw, where 2 knives fit into each other. Kind of like this. But how do you get it off once you get it on there? That's the tough part. Guess you just pull really hard. Okay. And this striker is, I don't like those kind of strikers. I like using my striker where it's this way. This is one of those strikers where you strike it that way. Yeah. You're better off getting you a Nathan 4071 ferro rod. Trust me. I'll play with that sometime outside. And, yeah, I don't like that at all. But I do like the idea. I do want to make a striker with a hole in the handle and a ferro rod with a hole in the handle. So I can put them together like this. And that was somebody's suggestion on Facebook, I believe. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. So many other things I want to do first. Now let's see what these fire starters are. This is a Zippo fire starter combo kit. All right, which end is the open end? Doesn't smell very good. Going down my bra. There we go. Fix that. It's kind of crumbly, soft and squishy. I don't know what that is in the middle. I want to dissect it. I don't make a mess doing this. Nope, it's all shavings just wrapped around in a circle. It's too bad I didn't have the mercury light working out back. We fire it up. Seriously, I want to do a fire. YouTube turned me into a pyro. I already liked canoeing and campfires and bonfires, all that. But yeah, now I'm officially a diehard pyro. Indian hemlock, good to see you. That's the other conifer that I wanted to make in a handle. I got like 10 different conifers. I want to make a handle of each. And I've got eastern hemlock here. I've got one in my yard actually. My darn fat fingers. Nathan has the best ferro rods in the business. You got that right. He need a Nathan Beast rod, LOL. Louis V really wants to get it going. Fire, fire. Oh, you missed it by this much. Steve Borg's in the house. Good to see you. Thanks. I'm glad you made it. Hey, I didn't tell you to do that. Get out of there. I hate smartphones. Give me back my flip phone. Pork steak. Oh, I'm hungry. I haven't ate since we left around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Sweet. All right. So I know some of you just got here, but it's time for me to wrap it up. It's been a long day. I had planned on doing this 8:30 to 9:30. Ended up doing it 9:15 to 10:15. I'm going to try not to leave such long videos. That 36-minute video might have been a bit much. Man, seriously, I want to fire these up. I got my Jimbo ferro rod right here. Where's me a striker? All right, I got some Osage orange Nathan handled before he started turning with a pretty cool striker. I like this size and shape of striker. And this is Jim Thomas ferro rod. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. The cord's long enough. I can't help it. I gotta fire up one of these stringy dingy Zippo fire starter BS. I'd rather make my own fire starters, wouldn't you? All right, so we're gonna move this light out of the way. See how much cord we got here? Oh yeah, you're coming with me. Before I go anywhere, it might help if I bring the tripod up. Okay, cord. Now I just gotta shut the window or the door. I didn't come out the window. Here we go. All right, cord. There we have it. Poor thing probably don't work in the dark. But you know what? I sure as heck am gonna try. You know what I mean? I believe I have a little bit more cord than that. All right, we got chairs in the way. Yeah, I'm already disappointed in these fire starters because they don't smell good. I want a fire starter to smell good. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be able to see shit. Probably ain't seeing shit right now. We're gonna do it anyways. Here we go. Jim Thomas ferro rod. Why am I not getting sparks? There we go. That's a spark. Can you see it? Probably not. Zippo fire starter. It's a very pleasant flame. Yeah, that's a pretty cool flame. I bet you that probably lasts you about 10 minutes. Hey, don't snap at me. These got attitude. That's actually a very pleasant flame. Not bad. Very pleasant flame. Yeah, I could watch that all day. There, I got my fire on. All right. Hopefully I haven't given any of you motion sickness yet. There, you guys got a live burn. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna go shut the chat off, and don't miss my video this Thursday. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. And thanks for coming. And those who watch later, thanks for coming and watching my video. I appreciate all you guys' support. And keep it burning. Cheers. Where's the keyboard?